Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the South Green Rebels baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head baseball coach Dalton Ramsey. Coach,
what's going on?
How's it going today?
Rainy Monday, or rainy Thursday, I guess now.
We've had 2 back-to-back rainy Mondays. We've got a rainy Thursday now. Welcome to April.
That's right.
Last time we sat down was March 31st, all the way here on April 10th now, and it's exactly what you would expect so far. I think we've had 3 or 4 days that have pretty much washed out anything and everything that's been played within Greenville and Greene County. But we're out here at Kinser Park now.
That's right.
Coming out here to hit a little bit. This is kind of the relaxed interview, as you see. We're in lawn chairs. Got the feet kicked out. Just kind of
that's all we got.
Lounging out here, just like you would when you're out here at Kinser Park.
Daggone right.
At the campground.
Sit out here and just at the campground, and I wish we had a little fire pit right in front of us. We could have some marshmallows right here.
That would make it complete.
That's it.
You can hear some hitting in the back, some throwing in the back. Got the boys working out there. The boys have been working on the field lately. Got a lot of games to cover.
We do.
I think we got 2 with West Greene, 1 with North Greene, 1 with Morristown East, 2 with Hampton. So a 6-game slate that we have to talk about.
Yep.
Some very competitive games, some that came down to the wire, some that came down to the 6th and 7th innings. So take us through the 6-game slate that you've had.
Yeah, so we had West Greene Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. And before we go on, I'm going to go ahead and say it. We've somehow battled through the games that we had last week. I mean, we played Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week, which is 4 days straight. And if anybody knows the pitching situations for high school, pretty much a kid that's going to throw the next day has to throw under 25. Well, you can't get through a game like that. So we did really good. Pitchers that we hadn't seen much this year come out and they pitched really good late week. So very impressed with our boys the way we competed. So going into the West Greene series, it's a cross-county rivalry. We know for a fact that they are a solid team. They had a solid, hitting staff. We knew exactly what we was getting into with that game. I think we played very well on Tuesday, played very well on Tuesday, and Wednesday didn't play so hot. Could have played a lot better on Wednesday than what we did. But going into, Thursday playing North Greene, I think the losses to West Greene kind of hurt a little bit. I think it was one of those things that we were just, we were kind of down from it a little bit, but we go into North Greene, go up 3 runs, come back in the 2nd, 3rd inning, they tie it up, maybe take a lead, we battle it back to, getting guys in scoring position and don't score again. So it's tough loss there for that one. And then we go to Morristown East, very solid 3A school. They hit the ball very well. We were pitching a freshman, T. Ricker, and then Wyatt Fender, 2 freshmen this year that hadn't got to see the field much except for our long week games. So it was nice to see them out there and throwing. They did their job perfectly. They threw strikes. They held the runs when they could. And then, we just kind of got in a situation where we got behind too late and we were trying to score runs too late. So overall, bad week last week. But going into the Hampton series on Monday and Tuesday, Monday was one of those things that it had rained already.
Yeah.
It was a wet day.
I think you were the only team within the county and conference that even got a game.
Probably was. We got up there about 11 o'clock that day. My assistant wound up helping me, Noah. He wound up showing up with me and helping me get up the field. And, we made a call about 1:30. Rain had stopped, and we was like, well, it could come through, it could not. So we told Hampton to come on. So we started that game we had senior night that night, so that was good. Nice to be able to celebrate them guys. All 4 of my seniors this year have played all 4 years of their high school career, which is absolutely amazing, and been key parts to it as well. And so very happy with that. We'll talk about that later. But come in, it got a little rainy, got a little bad conditions. We tried to score too late. We took an early lead, 1-0. They tied it up. Stayed 1-0 for about 2 or 3 innings, and then it was just tough for us to get back out of it. So proud of the way we fought. Just wish we could have held it out just a little bit longer, done a little bit better in the field than what we did, and we should have hit the ball a lot better than what we did. So that was tough. But then going into Tuesday, it was like we finally woke up and we said, well, we need to play baseball. We need to hit the ball. And we scored 15 runs on Tuesday. which was, I'm pretty sure I'd have to look into it. Yeah, I think it actually was. That's our most runs that we have scored this season. And it was a different ball club. It was a different aspect. It was a different mindset than what we've had in a long time. So I'm very proud of the boys, very proud of the way we did it. And I think everybody that was in our roster that night hitting, I'm pretty sure everyone had at least one hit, which is you think about baseball, that's a very impressive stat to have.
Close, 8 out of 9.
Yeah. So
I'll throw the stats up there and everybody can look at them, but you really don't have one single player to talk about in that game.
No.
There's not one single player that showed out more than the others. You had 3 players that had 3 RBIs. You had 2 players that had 3 hits. You had 3 players that had 3 runs.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm saying it was across the board the best game that we've probably played in a long time, it was the best game we've played in a long time. We showed up ready to go. They bring in, I believe it's their number 1, bring him into the game, and that doesn't really faze us that much, and we just kept rolling with the sticks. And I was very impressed with our boys, the mindset that we had going in that game and the way we played that game.
Now, that's a good game to carry over also, because looking at it, you've got some important games coming up this week. Hopefully get to play them all. Of course, with the Green Fling and the Tiny Day tournament this weekend, weather moving in, we don't know as of right now, but we'll talk about those a little bit in the second half where you've got some pretty good competition coming in. But
Absolutely.
We did an interview, I think, 10 days ago. Planned to do one before senior night. Didn't get to talk about the seniors and preview that game, but since senior night has been completed, what a perfect time to go ahead and talk about those 4 seniors. You talked about how they've been a part of your program for 4 years now. They played all 4 years. Talk about those 4 special seniors.
Absolutely. So let's just go in numerical order. So Colby Brooks, number 1, been a utility player since pretty much his freshman year. He come in. It's kind of funny to think of Colby now. He come in as a little shy freshman, didn't really talk much, didn't really, outgo his personality, but it was just here in the last 2 years you just saw something break in him, and he's turned into something special. Very good kid, very good across the board, pitching, hitting. He's able to do a lot of stuff for our team that helps us out a lot. Then we got Seth Franklin. You've talked about Seth on these shows. He's a character, but I got the privilege with all these guys. I got the privilege to assist their freshman year, so that I've got to be with them all 4 years. And when Seth come in as a freshman, I told him, I said, we're going to work on you catching, and I said that's going to be that's your forte. And so Seth put in the work. All 3 years he's been here. This year's come around, put in the work. He's got that mentality and that aspect to him that he wants to play baseball and he wants to do his best. And then we got going the next would be Jacob Susong, another guy. Baseball's not his primary sport, but does he come out here and does he put in the work just as much, if not harder, than some other people? Absolutely. And here lately, he got a little injury there in the West Green game that we've been kind of, nursing back to health, and so it's been tough, seeing him not getting to play. But good news is, he's able to work out of tight situations, as we've seen him being a closing pitcher for many years.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about him. Glad to see that he come out here for all 4 years and played baseball. Love to see his work ethic on the field. And then going into Brendan, another utility guy, had him all 4 years. He's played. I think after this year, he's officially played almost every position on the field. Like outfield, infield. Yeah. I think the only thing he hasn't done is catch. And to be honest with you, he could have caught in a JV game for all I know. It's one of those things that you tell all your kids, or tell all your guys whenever they get on the field, be prepared for something different, because you don't want to just tie yourself down to one position only. So we do that a lot when a kid's a freshman. We move them around a lot if we can. We try to move them around a lot, try different positions, try different techniques. During practice, I put them in the toughest situations just so it can be unnatural to them, so we can see what happens. And so, but yeah, all 4 of those guys, Brendan, going back to him, sticking it, for the past 2 years. I think he's been in at least the top 3 leading board for hits and, RBIs and stuff like that. So very proud of him. Very proud across all the board of all my seniors I have this year. They're definitely a quality bunch. We're going to miss them next year, but the good news is I think their leadership is going to help the teams that are coming. So.
And looking at your record too, I think 3-7 as a conference record, that finishes up your conference schedule.
It finishes up our conference schedule, yep.
Sort of early into the season. I think most teams are kind of finishing up early into the season, getting the green fling in and kind of spreading the conference games out before that, and then kind of finish out the rest of your season with whatever non-conference games. But
Absolutely.
With the conference schedule finished now, how satisfied are you with how you played within your conference games this year?
Not as impressed as what we should. I keep on saying it this year. Our record really does not dictate what the team we have this year. We definitely let a few games slip through our grasp that we should have had. There's a couple of games that if we could go back and play them again, play them, with a better mentality, I think there's a couple more wins in the conference that we should have. But again, that's baseball. Baseball's one of those sports that it's really important just to get hot at the end of the season, and it's one of those things that's what we're trying to do today. I mean, it's a rainy day. A lot of teams probably cancel practice as it is. We're out here trying to get the work in the cage, so it's one of those things we're trying to get hot here at the right time.
Looking at the conference too, I believe you're 5th right now.
5th right now. There's a possibility. So I think there's 3 more games that has to be made up in the conference. There's a possibility. There's a 3 or 4-way tie. I think it's a 4-way tie. Yeah, I do believe it's a 4-way tie for 3rd through 6th.
Okay.
So there's a good chance that, it's a good chance Chucky Doak's number 1 already. If West Green wins out 3-2, they'll get the 2 seed. Johnson County will more than likely get the 3 seed. And then from that point on, it's just whatever happens at these last couple games to pick that. So we were talking about that with the Hampton coach. We were talking about that with him. He looked at me at the end of the game and he said, "You realize that either one of us could be the 4 seed or the 6 seed now?" And I started laughing. I was like, "Yeah, I do." So that's the crazy thing about baseball is, random things can happen.
Take it day by day.
Exactly.
You really have to. You could be sitting pretty at first, and then before you know it, you could play a doubleheader, get swept, and you're not only behind the 8 ball, you're a little further behind the 8 ball than you'd like to be too. But
exactly.
That's just baseball. But the time is upon us now that we've got the green fling.
Absolutely.
Originally had some games scheduled for today, but all of those have been washed out. So we'll get all those in on Friday and Saturday. Before we talk about those too much, though, as always, we need to get a break in, hear a word from our sponsors, and see a commercial break pop up on screen. So right after that, we'll talk about the Rebels pair games here on Grassroots Media.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference. At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the South Green Rebel baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Dalton Ramsey. So you've got a pair of games this week in the Green Fling, the Buddy Hawk Classic. Usually I wait till you talk about the games before talking about it, but I'm going to switch it up this week.
Okay.
Speaking of the Buddy Hawk Classic, this is, I think, your fourth year being a part of it as an assistant and head coach. So you've been a part of it a few times now. You've hosted a couple times now. Talk about how much you enjoy when the Green Fling rolls around each year.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that it's really good to see different teams. We bring in teams, from out of the county and bring teams from out of the state in here. So it's good to see different teams. And to be honest with you, it's a great source of networking for coaches as well. It's a great opportunity for you to, talk with teams that you might want to play next year if they come to your place, or, not just that, it's a great atmosphere of, just getting games in as it is, so it's definitely a fun time. One thing is, it's weather permitting. I mean, you got a lot of work on you if you're hosting the site, but again, it's one of those things that it's a great time. It's a perfect opportunity to get, 2 to 3 games in, and I really enjoy it.
Looking at the games too, you've got University High tomorrow on Friday at 5 o'clock, and then Cott County Saturday at 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So you've got a pair of games in this year's Classic. You get to host both of them. Yep. What are you looking forward to in both games?
I'm ready to see us face some good pitching, and I'm ready to see us, fight through the adversity. The Cott County, a 3A school, their coach, Hardnell, I think is his name. He come in last year, and say he turned the program around is pretty good. He's done a really good job at coaching them and changing the program around completely. I know he's made a couple adjustments to the field, a couple adjustments to the locker room, done a great job out there. University High, we didn't get them on the schedule this year. We've had them on the schedule in the past. So it's a good news is, we still have them on our schedule because it's a great competition, great game for us. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to see some good pitching, get some live reps, and hopefully be ready for the district tournament in a couple
I think
weeks.
it's a beneficial part of teams that get to invite teams in here such as University High and Coalfield. Mm-hmm. Those were 2 teams that were invited down this year, and looking at it, you've got the number 2 team in 1A and the number 3 team in 1A in the Green Fling that a lot of these teams can look at in a way that another coach in the county kind of looked at it too, is you play teams throughout your week in conference, and then at the end of the week you get teams out of conference. So it's kind of like a sub-state scenario. It's kind of like a postseason trip where you can play the teams that you would expect to play in the district and region tournament, and then at the end of the week you would get a sub-state team.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things and that's what we've talked about time and time again. See, last year was our first regional berth in a while, so it was hard for us to make that adjustment. Of we just finished up a district tournament on Monday, we turned around that Friday and Saturday and played in the regionals, so it was hard for us to make that adjustment. So that's a great point, is looking at it like that, you're pretty much doing what district going into regional going into sub-state is just like. So
hopefully the rain holds off and we get to play those games. If it's as pretty as it is right now, then it'll be beautiful weather on Friday and Saturday. The rain's moved out, the clouds have moved out, you get the pretty blue skies with a few clouds, and the sun's out. It's just a little chilly though.
It is a little chilly.
Warm up just a tad.
Hey, it's April. Hopefully it might warm up by May. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you have 80-degree days in March, and then we're out here and it's currently it says 61 now, but it was mid-50s earlier in the day. So, I mean, that's just April. April's the one month you've got to push through as an outdoor coach, whether it be baseball, softball, or soccer. Just push through April.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, Coach. I believe that's all I got today for you. Go in there, coach them up.
I'm going to try to.
Hopefully talk about a few wins in the Green Fling the next time we sit down and talk.
Be nice.
But as always, thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.